Hello, my name is Guillermo Hernandez. I'm a project manager for the Adrianople Group, and I want to welcome Charlie Kirkconnell. He's the CEO of the Cayman Enterprise City, and he will be today with us in the Geoeconomics Podcast. Welcome, Charlie.
Well, thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
So, we have been hearing lots of news from the Cayman Enterprise City. If you are in the special economic zone industry, at some point you have seen a headline of them. They are constantly being awarded as being an excellent zone. Charlie, if you could start by giving us a bit more of a background about what is the Cayman Enterprise City, how it started, like the history of the zone, and like what it is today, that will be awesome.
Great. Okay. Well, I mean, to start from the beginning, we are a special economic zone located in the Cayman Islands, and we are, the mission of our project is to attract, knowledge and technology-focused businesses to set up a genuine physical presence in the country. And one of the things that Cayman is sort of known for is that there are entities set up here without a physical presence, and one of the things that the government wanted to accomplish through our project was to make it easy for businesses to physically locate here. And that was something of a new thing when we got started, or a new focus anyway when we got started. And as far as how we began, it's ironic in a way that we're having this discussion in the middle of a global crisis, because the last global crisis that people probably will think about prior to this one is the global financial crisis of 2008. Essentially, what happened then was in Cayman, of course, is our two main industries are financial services and tourism. And in the wake of the global financial crisis of 2008, both of those industries were significantly impacted. So the government, when we came along with our project, was actually looking for a new project that would help to provide some economic diversification and attract some new foreign direct investment. And we fit the bill. We were legend has it that we ticked eight out of the 10 boxes on a list that they were seeking to accomplish. And that is the birth of our project.
Yeah, it's always good to highlight that specific aspect of the company's setting, in the zone, that is physical and not remotely focused. I saw that recently the Cayman Enterprise City was recognized as one of the top special economic zones in the world and the best in the Americas. How often do you guys get these awards, and like how has been the road to getting to what you are today?
Okay, well, we began applying to the award was given to us by FDI Intelligence magazine, which is a division of the Financial Times Group. So, from our perspective, and I think from most people's perspective, a very significant award given, who is bestowing the award. So, we began applying. Caitlin Elphinstone, our VP of Marketing and Community Engagement, suggested that, hey, we feel like we've done some great things. Let's make an application and see whether we might get some recognition for what we've done. We made our first application, and we received our first recognition in 2018. And from there, we as our project has progressed, we've gained even greater recognition for the additional and new and exciting things that we're doing. How we got here was, when we first started the project, we launched this project in 2011, and we've gotten to this point through a lot of trial and error, and a lot of learning from our clients and other people in the industry about the things that we should be doing or the things that we could be doing, and things that we could be doing better. So, we always keep an open mind, and we're not afraid of criticism. Constructive, we prefer constructive criticism, but we take any type. And we use that to improve our project, improve our product, and make it as cutting edge as we can. And we'll be continuing that process until I don't think it ends. So we're very excited by where we've gotten to, but we're also very excited about where we're headed.
Awesome. All right. What is the kind of company that, from the Sun's perspective, would like to have? What is, let's say, optimal company that the Cayman Enterprise City is looking for? Okay. Is there any specific industry?
Yeah, there are essentially three industries that are part of our project. But one thing important to note is that we don't require companies to be of any particular size or at any particular stage of development. So we have everything from early stage or startup companies. Sometimes it's one person with an idea, all the way up to mature companies with hundreds of people located around the world. We don't. Our project is open to businesses of all sizes and of all stages of development. As far as the types of businesses that qualify to come into the zone, we have three cities within Cayman Enterprise City. The first one being Cayman Tech City. And that is focused, businesses that qualify to be licensed into Cayman Tech City include, fintech, health sciences and medtech businesses involved in software development, and digital media and digital marketing activities. Companies that trade in commodities and derivatives are also eligible to be licensed into the zone, as well as companies, that would be Cayman Commodities and Derivatives City. So the first part was Cayman Tech City. Cayman Commodities and Derivatives City is what I just described. And then for businesses that are involved in anything to do with maritime or aviation, they can be licensed into Cayman Maritime and Aviation Park. So there are some definite sectors that are part of the special economic zone. But it's quite broad, so it does allow us quite a bit of flexibility to work with a variety of types of companies from around the world. One thing to note, by the way, and coming back to the launching of our project, one of the things that the government didn't want us to do was to cannibalize what Cayman was already very, very good at, and that is the reason for the specific focus of the zones within our special economic zone.
All right. What sets the Cayman Enterprise City apart in terms of best practices and different aspects that you will say represent the Cayman Enterprise City?
Well, we offer businesses that are interested in setting up with us the opportunity to do that in a cost-effective and time-efficient manner. So, and I won't speak specifically about, I will speak specifically about Cayman. It can take a significant amount of time and cost a significant amount of money just to work through the setup process, including getting the business license that you need and the work visas for your team. Cayman Enterprise Cities, the special economic zone cuts through a lot of the red tape, a lot of the difficulty that people have in getting set up, and we can have a company set up from the moment that they say, okay, we want to do this, to the moment that they're able to sit down at their desk and get to work. It takes about 4 to 6 weeks, and that for many of our clients, that's possibly the most important part of or feature of Cayman Enterprise City, because it business people, and I'm one of them, we like to make a decision, and we don't want to be, calling up someone in 6 months and saying, is this almost ready yet? Are we almost ready to move forward? People like to take a decision and move forward quickly. Other things that help to separate us, in general, the Cayman Islands is a great place to live and work. We feature world-class infrastructure. That's the physical infrastructure and the technology infrastructure, and the cosmopolitan lifestyle in an island setting. And for many people, they find that to be very, very exciting. This is the kind of place that not only do they think that would be a good place to run their business, but also a great place to live. Cayman has there are people in Cayman from over 120 countries around the world, and that makes Cayman a very, very interesting place to live. And then the last thing that we find differentiates us from other projects around the world and even within Cayman is that we're very, very active in creating a vibrant community of like-minded people. So we give people the opportunity. We host events of some of them social, some of them business focused, but they're all opportunities for people who are in similar industries to get together in again, either socially or in a business setting, to meet each other, possibly even identify projects they can work on together, or even just have an opportunity to speak to someone who does something similar to what they do, and it's just good to have that sort of connection. But for many people who are looking at Cayman or Cayman Enterprise City, one of the things that they do worry about a little bit is, the beach is great, the sun is great, but I have a serious career, and if I go to Cayman, I might be the only person there that does what I do. Well, that isn't the case. We do offer a fantastic lifestyle to people who do move here, but people can have a serious career here as well. And that is usually a very, very important factor for people who are considering setting up in Cayman, especially business owners. They want to make sure that they move their business here, that they're going to be, their team, their staff are not going to be distracted and not interested in working basically. So it's a serious business jurisdiction, but also a great place to live and work.
That's an excellent title for a podcast in general. Like, it's not just beautiful landscapes; it's also a great place to work.
Absolutely.
All right. How was the COVID-19 response? This is something that has affected the world as a whole. Different zones have different kind of interpretations of the crisis and different responses to it. How COVID-19 pandemic affected the Cayman Islands and the zone, and how it replied to it.
Okay, well, the Cayman did very, very well through the virus. We had low rates of infection and low rates of fatality. In fact, I think there were only 2 people that have passed away from the disease, and one of those people had both of those people, I'm told, had underlying significant underlying conditions. So Cayman has been very fortunate but we've also been our government has taken a very aggressive approach, if you will, to controlling the virus, and our borders were closed for, I'm not even sure how long it was. It seemed like a very, very long time, and I think it might have actually been a very, very long time. But our borders were closed for a significant period, which allowed us to get to where there were no active cases of COVID in the islands. We've since then we've had a limited reopening of our border, and we are seeing some new infections from people coming to the island, but those people are we still have a 14-day quarantine period. So people who arrive on the island who have the virus. They are, well, everyone is. When you arrive here, you're quarantined for 14 days, whether you tested positive at the airport or not. And then you're tested again at the end of the 14-day period. And if you are negative, then you are free to free to move about the country. The benefit of that is that once you are through the quarantine period, you have the benefit of basically moving about freely. You're not required to wear a mask, and restaurants and bars and those sorts of things are open and functioning. So things, once you get through the quarantine period, are very normal here in Cayman. As far as how the virus has impacted Cayman Enterprise City, we've had some attrition related to COVID, but we've also had a significant amount of new inquiries for businesses getting set up. And in fact, not just inquiries, we've had a significant number of new businesses set up in the last few months. And I think a significant driver is how well we've done with the virus. So people they like the idea of being in a place like Cayman that has taken a very aggressive approach with the virus, and because of that, allows people to live something of a to live a very, very normal, in a very, very quote unquote normal way. Once they are resident locally.
Well, that's a very effective approach to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic, and it has resulted effective for the Cayman Enterprise City, looks like, and the island as a whole. How would you say that looks the future of the Cayman Enterprise City? Is the zone looking to host companies that focus on, let's say, things like Internet of Things, blockchain, these kind of innovation-focused companies? And how will the different companies that are right now inside the zone shape the future of the Cayman Enterprise City?
Well, we've seen a lot of very cutting edge activity. A lot of our companies are doing very new and novel things. Many of them are in blockchain development, and we're very excited by where them and their technology is going. We anticipate that the future. We see a very, very bright future for our project. And as our profile raises more and more, which of course today will hopefully help us, which I know will help us with that as well. The more people hear about us and what we're doing, and what an exciting place the Cayman Islands is to be. We know that we're going to get more and more interest, more and more people doing new and exciting things, whether it's in blockchain development, machine learning, artificial intelligence, those sorts of things. And we're very excited about how well some of these companies are going to do in the future. Some of them already, but certainly in the future as they become influential and significant companies on the global stage.
All right. Going closer to the end of the podcast, what would you say that are the challenges that the zone is facing right now? And how is the Cayman Enterprise City planning to, get ahead of them?
Well, the biggest challenge, of course, is we've already talked about. It's everyone's challenge at the moment is the virus, and we're confident that there's a strong future. The way that our government has approached the virus is going to continue to position us and Cayman in general for future growth. Really, we see that as the biggest obstacle, and then the other obstacles that really just kind of come back to how effectively we can spread the word about how great it is in Cayman, and that it's a really excellent place for you to establish your technology company or your aviation maritime company, or commodities and or derivatives trading company. Spreading the word for us is one of the biggest obstacles.
All right. Mr. Kirkconnell, thanks a ton for being with us in the Geoeconomics Podcast. It was an amazing conversation.
Well, thank you very much for having me. It was an absolute pleasure, and look forward to catching up again at some point in the future, hopefully.
Definitely. Let's do that in the future.